So, our next speaker is Hakim Isler, and he's going to be talking about evolving consciousness through play. So, Hakim Isler is the creator of the Psi Games International, exploring the limits of human potential and perception. He's a former U.S. Army PSYOP specialist, human potential development, integrative health specialist, and martial arts expert. His work bridges real-world training with consciousness practices, advancing research and applications in intuitive abilities and human performance. Go ahead, take it from here, Hakeem. You got this.
Hey, thank you so much for all of that and inviting me in on this call. And everyone who's here, I'm really appreciative to be able to share this with you. And so I hope everybody can see my screen. Can everybody see my screen? So yeah, here we are. We have Psi Games Online, but we also have Psi Games International, which is actually our event. And one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to gamify and bring forth the Psi abilities to kind of push the envelope by human or human interaction and us doing that through play. So right now, today, I'm going to be presenting Psi Games Online and the things that we have moving forward in that, and using gameplay and online gaming as a way to help people develop their superhuman abilities. So, defining the category of Psi gaming, our mission is to transform intuition, perception, and focused intention into trainable, measurable human skills through individual and group interactive gameplay. So intuition, perception, and focused intention, really guiding people in that way. All right. So moving from that video, right, the power that unites us. Now we're moving into this idea of the gap. So right now we have apps out there that train the body with fitness apps. We have apps that train the mind through cognitive apps, and we have problem solving gaming apps. But there's very few, if not any, platforms that exist to train measurable Psi abilities. All right. So Chase is doing that, as well as what we're trying to do here at the Psi Games Online. We want to be like the luminosity for Psi and be able to have this idea of people going into these games with this functional understanding of how to use these Psi abilities and to train those Psi abilities. The Psi abilities that we develop on the platform are intuition, remote viewing, psychokinesis, precognition, and focus coherence, as well as pattern recognition and understanding how patterns emerge. We do that with our digital platform, where we train measurable Psi abilities through gameplay. Right now, in the why this moment matters, not only because consciousness is a hot topic in the sense that really people are really trying to understand that and dive into it. So many of the people we heard earlier are doing such amazing work. And when you look at, well, how do we, where's the money, like, David was talking about earlier, to help us study these? You look at gaming is a $200 billion industry. Wellness tech is a $4 trillion industry, and brain training is $8 billion. The consciousness market could be $50 billion, and in some ways is not the research, but games that are things that are helping develop that. And then you have the online community as well, which is also an online gaming community, which is very high in revenue. So we want to, there we go. Our business model for Psi Games Online is that we have this freemium version where we have like 7 to 10 free introductory games that we're developing right now with Squiddo and David's team. And we want to have up to 500 subscribers before we launch our premium version. When we get to our premium version, the way it differs from our introductory game version is that instead of just having the games, we're also going to have advanced games, advanced analytics. We're going to have a tournament style where people can play with other friends all over the world. And then we'll have coaching and feedback integrated. In addition to this, our goal is to help advance research studies. So we have this institutional back end that if you opt into the platform as you are going through your training and as you're going through your development, how you're scoring in these games will kind of get logged. And then people who have research projects, let's say CUSAC or some of the other organizations out there who are interested, they can go into our back end and find people specifically who are doing well in those particular modalities. So what we were hearing from Dops earlier is that this idea that you can they want to search Mindsight. So in this particular case, you would be able to look at our games, see who's developing Mindsight or who's developed in Mindsight, and then invite them directly into your research program. So this will be some of the things that we're working on. Next, here's some of the previews of the game. So the top game is actually a game where we're working micro PK, and you're actually going to be able to move objects from one side to another by influencing a quantum random number generator. The second game is really intuition, choosing the right door. You get certain points for that. Those points translate into actual real world discounts off of merchandise at our Psi Games event. Our early traction as we're moving, we have 700 plus early subscribers. We have a built-in audience because we'll actually be working with the Psi Games events. So people who come to these events will actually be able to, log on and play these games as a group. We also use it to screen people so we can make sure that we know that people can actually do the thing if they're coming to be what we call a perceptualist at the Psi Games and participate in our competitions. So that's really important for two reasons. One is because sometimes people have performance anxiety and they get on stage and they can't do the thing. But instead of us looking, or the skeptics looking at that person and say, I told you this wasn't real, we could always point back to their stats and say, actually, this person can do the thing. They just didn't perform well on this particular day, which it allows us to insulate them and protect them, because this is a very demanding field and it's a very demanding thing to get on stage and actually perform and show that you can do these things. And so this is a way to help that person be insulated from, negative feedback or, people coming out there at them. So the platform architecture across reality systems for Psi Gaming. Psi Games unifies 4 core systems into a single interactive platform. This is digital training. This is online and live competition. So this global tournament and ranking, scientific research, large-scale performance data sets, and immersive technology will eventually go to VR, AR, like augmented reality environments, and then EEG feedback. So one of the things that I say, we work with partners. We have Squiddo Studios, who we've introduced today, and we have CUSAC, who we were introduced today to. We have Social RV, which is, these guys have been amazing supporters of the Psi Games. We have scientific advisors like Rizwan Virk. I'm always talking to Adam Curry. He probably gets tired of me. And of course, we got Mark Pacuzzi, who is working with us and giving us feedback. Our business advisors, John Warren, who started a company, sold it to Meta, and now is working on a virtual reality and augmented reality project called Evolve Biofeedback Platform. So he's working there. What we're looking for is we're trying to gather more resources so that we can really build out the platform. There's many, many levels. Like I said, there's the research aspect. There's the multiplayer gaming aspect. There's the augmented reality and also the biofeedback that we want to integrate into the platform. And so right now we're in the process of finishing out our 7 to 8 games for our initial freemium version. And then we would want to grow into the next stage of developing the platform further, the game architecture, user acquisition, infrastructure, and brand expansion. So thank you for this and listening to me during this time, and even the little hiccup we had with the video. Join us on our quest to bring Psi to the masses. There's our contact information, and I welcome any questions when we get to the question and answer portion.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Hakim. And I just want to give a shout out because I have been not to the the large Psi Games event that's going to happen in August, but I was recently at a PK event. And I just really loved the community that Hakim brings together at these events. The video clip he was going to show you was going to show you how special it is to be at those games. And it's what's phenomenal is that you're surrounded by people who all want you to win. It's basically, even though it's a competition, everybody wants everybody to play their best self. And we have so much fun trying out, remote viewing, dowsing, precog, all of the things. So I highly recommend checking out the games if you have a chance.